Dante's Boxing Nation. We are here with boxing legend Mark "Too Sharp" Johnson. What's going on, Mark?
All right, man, just enjoying myself, man. Out here in LA, getting ready to watch the Earl Spence Sean Porter fight. It's gonna be an epic fight. It's gonna be a great fight, man.
Will you be attending the fight, Mark?
Of course, man. Of course, man. It's championship boxing, man. When it's championship boxing, you gotta have the champions in it. You know what I'm saying? When it's championship boxing, you gotta have champions here. You gotta have Hall of Famers here, and I'm all that.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Mark, I wanted you to tell the people an interesting story about what happened when you was boxing, when you was at the lower weight classes. I want you to talk about a fight that was supposed to happen between you and a particular person by the name of Manny Pacquiao. What happened with that fight? I want people to hear this story because it's important that people hear this story about, you know, how you didn't get your chance and some of the politics of boxing, man.
Well, with the politics of boxing, right? I really didn't get my just due. Even though I'm the first African-American in history to win the title at 112, 115 twice, the youngest fighter to go in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. But in 1996, there was a young guy named Manny Pacquiao that won a WBC title. And there was another young guy named Starp Johnson who won the IBF title, which we were supposed to unify those titles. Of course, when Manny Pacquiao left Thailand and went to Freddie Roach, they said, nah, you ain't gonna fight Mark. So that's where my just due didn't happen at. So when Manny didn't fight me, you know, I went on and did what I had to do. So before I got to that point, though, I was Danny Romero #1 contender for the IBF Flyweight Championship of the world. You know what? Cameron Duncan and Top Rank got Danny Romero to vacate the title. So now I move up to 115. I'm Johnny Tappy #1 contender, right? Top Rank, and once again, Cameron Duncan got Johnny Tappy to vacate his title. So I'm chasing people all the way up the ladder, right? So when it comes to a guy that don't get their just due, I'm that one man that didn't get their just due. Not only did I didn't get my just due in the ring, and right now, you know, sometimes you gotta, you know, I was like the Rodney Dangerfield of boxing. You know, even though I was slaughtering these guys, I was beating them bad, but they still ain't want to give me the, you know, the respect I deserve.
Okay, let me, you know, for the people that don't know who Cameron Duncan is, I know who Cameron Duncan is. Tell people who Cameron Duncan is, Mark.
Well, after Cameron Duncan did that, we became good friends. But he's Terrence Crawford manager now, and he was all their managers, and Bob Aaron was their promoter. And the worst thing that they seen was a guy like a little slicker than Marlon Hagler, but about the just as point as Pernell Whitaker, an African American that can box at lower weight, and I'm left-handed. So that called for disaster. So when it called for disaster, guess what? Don't mess with him.
I gotta ask you a question. You know, I like the lower weight class divisions. You know the divisions that you fought in. Do you feel like they don't get enough attention that they should get? Because most of the time when you watch those lower weight classes, you get action-packed fights.
Well, let me say this to you. People starting to understand the lower weight classes now, but as I was coming up, it was all about the heavyweights. That's who made the money. But at that point, what I tell people is this: a flyweight, a super flyweight, a bantamweight, a lightweight, we're punching for 12 rounds. 12. The heavyweights, you know, I used to say this: they'll fight for 4 minutes and then they'll start holding. But Chris Arreola and them say, nah, Mark, we're gonna do a little better than that. So Chris Arreola and them did a great job with punching and fighting. But I still think the lower weight class has the better fights, the better weights. You can go back to Devin Haney, Tank, Tevin Farmer, Leo Santa Cruz, you know, Gary Russell. I mean, it's endless fights out there. But guess what? What I'm telling the fans today is this: if we can't get the right fights that we deserve and that we want, there's no sense on us subscribing for some shows that we're not gonna get our money worth. Until we start saying no, let's make the right fights happen, then the networks will start picking on. But right now, whatever they give us, we take it.
And why do you think that a lot of these fights are not happening? Because, you know, I did an interview with Gary Russell Jr., and he really showed his frustration due to the fact that he'd been trying to fight Leo Santa Cruz for years, Abner Mares, and he's basically tried to, you know, fight everybody. If I'm not mistaken, he has the most prestigious belt, which is the WBC belt, and he can't get anybody in the ring with him. And why is that? What is up with the politics in boxing? Why?
Well, you know the politics of boxing. But let me say this here. Gary Russell is a great friend of mine. We're from Washington, D.C. Great friends. So when you want to get these guys in the ring and you want to do what you need to do to maintain and take care of your family, you notice when Earl Spence, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Lamont Peterson, they get in the ring after that fight. I want to fight you next. And what happened? The fights happen. You can't ask for a fight from long distance. Gary Russell, you want a rematch with Leo Santa Cruz? And Gary, you want to, look, Gary like a young man to me, a young brother. I watched him grow up. I watched him fight. I have a lot of respect for Gary. And I know he's not ducking nobody. And he got some of the best heart. But Gary, call him out the right way. Leo Santa Cruz for the MGM, go down there. Let Leo Santa Cruz know you want to see him. I already know for a fact that Gary Russell is not ducking nobody. He'll fight anybody. He got the biggest heart in the division. But it got to make sense. See, right now, boxing is business. If it don't make sense, if it don't make money, it don't make sense.
So that's what the problem is. So I wanted to ask you about a fight that a lot of people is clamoring for, but a lot of people think this fight is getting to the point where it's out of reach. Based off what happens tomorrow with Errol Spence and Porter, should Errol Spence be successful? Bud has a fight coming up in December, but is there any way possible? Do you see that fight happening? Because a lot of people are starting to think the fight is not going to happen. You hear these quotes about the other side of the street and all that type of stuff. So I'm trying to, you a guy that actually been in the ring. You was a boxer. I want to get your interpretation on what does that mean, or could you translate the other side of the street for the people that's kind of like, well, what does that mean?
Well, let me do this like a commentator, because a lot of commentators, you gotta sell the people that's watching TV. A person that don't know what a hook is and don't know what a jab is, right? A commentator should show them what that is. But let me say, what's happening with the sport of boxing is this now. If Earl Spence win, the Terrence Crawford fight still not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You look at Mike Tyson when he was with Showtime and Evander Holyfield was with HBO. How long did that take? You look at Mike Tyson, HBO, Lennox Lewis, Showtime. How long did that take? By the time we got those fights, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, we didn't even really care about the fights no more. It's a business. Now, the business is this. You gotta go with the right man that's gonna give you the right amount of money. I don't take nothing from Terrence Crawford. I think he's one of the best welterweights in the world. But I think he made a poor decision by going back with Top Rank and not signing with Al. Because if you sign with Al, guess what? You in the Ryan Robin game now. You in there with can't nobody duck you. You got Danny Garcia. You got retired Lamont Peterson. You got Sean Porter. You got Robert Guerrero. You got Andre Berto. That's what Al Heyman bringing to the table. So it reminds me, Terrence Crawford reminds me of me. You're the best fighter in probably the division or the top 3 divisions from 140, 147 to 154. You might be the best fighter, but guess what? You were the wrong promoter. It was like me. I was the best 112, 115, 118, but at the time, I was with the LA Forum. So when the LA Forum came around, only thing they knew at that time was Marco Antonio Barrera, and he fought Kennedy McKinney, Jimmy Jones. So at that time, I was with the wrong promoters, and that's what happened in boxing.
So it's
a business.
So it's nothing personal. It's just basically it got to make sense. Okay, I want you to give us your take on some upcoming fights. All right, give us your take on tomorrow's fight.
Well, I got to holler at my man Big Rich, let me say this to you. I got to holler at my man Big Rich. That's my man right here, right? So me and Big Rich, we kick it all the time, But we always go to the body. I go to his body, he don't go to mine. But anyway, I told Rich I like Earl Spence in the fight. Keep in mind, I'm great friends with both of them, Sean. Dirk James, we trained them. We was roommates in the Junior Olympics. And, Sean and his dad was super cool, but I just feel like at this time, I think it's Sean, it's Earl time. And, I can remember when Earl was just trying to get in, but he could never get in. And that's when the time was Sean, Lamont, Danny Garcia, Robert Guerrero, Andre Berto. At this time, Earl Spence was the best fighter in that era, but he didn't have a belt, because guess what? They was alienated. So now he got the belt. He said, look, I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to go forward. one thing I say about this fight right here, man, is a pick 'em, but I'm gonna go with Earl.
Okay. All right. Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua.
Oh my goodness. Listen, how can you not like Andy Ruiz? Look, if you don't like Andy Ruiz, you don't like boxing. You know, and what I told people was this. Before Andy Ruiz, before him, he had just beat a big heavyweight guy, I think maybe a month, 2 months ago before that fight. So I already knew that he had a lot of heart, a lot of courage. And you know what? He's showing people in the heavyweight division, like, guess what? When you see that guy walk down the street, you might be like, oh, look at that fat dude. But then you look at him in the ring, you're like, oh, man, he can really fight. And that's what happens in boxing. You know, you see the little guys like me, or Michael Carvajal, or Chocolatito, or Tank, or Gary Russell, and you see us walking down the street with just regular people. But you don't know, man, you jump out there, man, it's going to happen. You're going to get hurt.
All right. Canelo, Sergey Kovalev.
I think Kovalev is done. I think not done, but I think he had a lot of wear and tear on his body. I think Canelo is fighting Kovalev at the right time, the same way that Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo at the right time. Everything is about timing. Floyd knew that at the time that Canelo didn't have the experience that he had. That's why he took the fight. I think Kovalev is starting to wind down, and I think Canelo is a little faster, stronger, and younger. And it's out with the old, in with the new.
Okay, Mark. Before we go, I want you to tell us your interpretation on Chocolatito. You said something very interesting about him. When everybody was pushing this Chocolatito movement a few years ago, before basically, well, you know what happened to him. Do you think it was justified that people came out of nowhere and just said, hey, this dude is the best fighter on the planet, and you look at his resume and you be like, why?
Well, listen, if Chocolatito would have came up with a time with me, Michael Carvajal, Chiquita Gonzalez, Ricardo Lopez, Simone Sachardarone, I can go on Johnny Tapi, Danny Romero, Israel Vasquez. Who is he? He wouldn't even be mentioned. All of us would have mopped him up. He wouldn't even be mentioned. He wouldn't have won 12 rounds with none of us. That group I just named, he wouldn't have won 12 rounds with none of us. None of us. So if you think Chocolatito was the number one pound for pound, y'all sadly mistaken. And guess what? A lot of y'all that voted for that, y'all don't know boxing. Because guess what? Like I said again, Chocolatito couldn't beat Michael Carvajal, 1. He couldn't beat Chiquita Gonzalez, 2. He couldn't beat Mark Johnson, 3. Ricardo Lopez could have moved up, 4. Simone Sachardarone, 5. Johnny Tapi, Danny Romero, Israel Vasquez. Come on, man. Chocolatito wouldn't last. And if anybody picked him number 1, y'all sadly mistaken. Y'all don't know boxing, man.
All right, so there you have it. Mark Starp Johnson. Dante's Boxing Nation, we out.
That's right.